All right, everyone. Get ready for another Nintendo Prime Live, our first Nintendo Prime Live of the month of March of 2024. Today, we're going to be talking about what it took for Nintendo Prime to become a full-time YouTuber, asking your questions. Go ahead and drop your favorite emojis in the chat and welcome in your host, Nintendo Prime.
Today, how we all doing tonight? I hope you're having an amazing time. We're going to be talking about how I became, not really how I became, answering your questions on how I became a full-time YouTuber. Any questions you guys kind of have for this? Just realized I forgot to say, I said YouTube. I guess how I made it on YouTube is just fine. All right, so any questions you guys might have, you got to @ Nintendo Prime in the chat. You can super chat your questions in as well. We also have some questions that were sent to me beforehand, so we might get to some of those as well. It's going to be a good, fun time stream. We are taking song requests, $2 for the first request, $5 after. However, today during this stream, we're going to keep it to just strictly video game music. We're going to try to avoid the copyright bug. We're hoping to keep this video up long haul for anyone who ever wants to go back and read like questions and are just curious about my journey on YouTube and like any advice and stuff that people might ask me questions about when it comes to being a full-time YouTuber. Now, the first thing we do have to do, though, since this is our very first live stream in the month of March, is we need to come up with new names for Valen, Prime, and Cupid. Valen Prime is our top super chatter or donator of the stream. Cupid is our top gifted member person of the stream. So it's the month of March. So that's first thing first, chat. What should we call? What should we rename these two? What should be? What should it be in the month of March? I see Pot of Gold. I see Pot of Gold thrown out there. That's the only one I see thrown out there so far. Is Pot of Gold. Any other ones? Any other ones? This is Switch Breath of the Wild birthday month, so I think it would be cool if it was related to that. Could be. Again, you guys are going to decide. So what do we got? Right now, I see Lucky Charms. See Pot of Gold. The Lucky Charm, okay. Let's start with replacing Cupid. Let's start with replacing Cupid. All right. Let's start with replacing Cupid. I'm gonna take some of you guys' options here. Let's see here. What other options do we have? What other ones we got here? Right now we're taking suggestions right now to rename Cupid quick. Let's get this out of the way quick. Let's see here. Just looking for suggestions for renaming our top gifted member of the stream for the month of March. Let's see here. Easter Bunny. Isn't that in April? Or is it Easter this month? I can't remember. Is it this month or April? I'm forgetting. Saint Prime. We usually don't do... I mean, it's kind of a jokey reference, right? It's at the end of March this year. It's on the 31st this month. Jeez. Let's see here. So Easter's also apparently this month. Damn. Let's go. Isn't it usually in April, or am I just going crazy? I feel like it's usually in April. What if it lands on the 31st? It lands on the 31st. It is what it is. Yeah, it usually is. I was gonna say, it's usually like the first week or second week of April, but hey, however things line up is how they line up this year. It is a leap year too, so. Let's see here. Let's go. You know what? There wasn't a lot of names really thrown out. We're just gonna rename Cupid. It's gonna be one of your guys' names, of course. Hold on, mess that up here. All right, we're gonna rename Cupid to the one that I thought made the most sense that was thrown in the chat. We didn't have a lot of options. We're gonna call it Lucky Charms. So whoever gives the most Lucky Charms is our top gifted. What are we renaming Valen Prime to? By the way, we clearly got to change the colors on that. What are we doing? That can't be. That can't be. We gotta go. We gotta go with like, get some green up in here. Maybe some white. There we go. I like that. I like that. Let me see here. Replace Cupid with excellent. So what are we gonna replace Cupid with? Or Valen Prime. Valen Prime. Valen Prime. This is our top super chatter of the day, or of the stream, or I guess I should say. Let's see here. Top super chatter name. Let's see here. They're magically delicious. Let's see here. Looking at some of the suggestions we had. I like this one as a possibility. Put this one in. But we gotta have more than just one suggestion. We haven't had a lot of things really thrown out there. I mean, yeah, you guys make the suggestions. I'm not seeing any. Come on, guys. My chat can do better than this. What are we going to rename Valen Prime to? What are we renaming it to? Our top super chatter. What are we doing? Throw some ideas out there. I got one. I can add like two, or I can add 3 to 4 more options to this poll. Come on. It's more fun when we have like options. Right now we don't really have anyone. Oh no, yeah. I like this. The divine beast of the stream. I like that. That's a nice little Breath of the Wild reference right there. The divine beast of the stream. The leprechaun of the stream, okay. I think it's how you spell leprechaun. All right, one more suggestion. We don't have any Easter suggestion yet. We gotta have an Easter suggestion in here, I feel. We got a Switch launch Zelda suggestion. We have a couple, St. Patrick's Day suggestions. Do we have an Easter suggestion? Let's get an Easter suggestion in. Let's get one Easter suggestion in, and then you guys can vote. Finally changed my YouTube display name. It's been a long time coming. Wait a second. Who is that? Is that Sam West? Tall Show? Are you? Wait a second. How am I supposed to know who you are now? I don't know who that is. When people rename themselves, I don't know. The Peeps? Who's the top peeps of the stream? All right, I like that one. We'll throw that one on there. Who's the peeps of the stream? How'd I know? You know what's the tingle emoji? That's what's giving it away. The damn tingle emoji. All right. It's gonna be so weird not to call you Sam West, but now you're Tall Show. Got it. All right, you guys voted the poll. What's it gonna be? The divine beast of the stream. Wait, sorry. The options were pot of gold of the stream, divine beast of the stream, leprechaun of the stream, peeps of the stream. Which one's gonna win the poll so we can rename our Valen Prime? Rename our Valen Prime. What are we doing? Ooh, this is a tight poll. Divine Beast is taking a lead briefly, but there's not that many votes. This could be swung. This could be swung right now. This could be swung easily. Leprechaun pulls into a tie. Leprechaun pulls ahead. Watching this in live when there's only 18 votes. No vigorous turtle. No, there's no. Come on, guys, get the votes in. We have like 50 people. We'll close it at anywhere above 30 votes. Anywhere above 30 votes is when we'll close it. Anywhere above 30. We're at 20 votes right now. I voted. 22. Oh, Peeps is making a comeback. Look out. Oh, Leprechaun might just hold on. We'll see. Oh, whoa, this is tight. This is coming in hot right now. Oh no. This is so tight. It's neck and neck. What is happening? It's neck and neck right now. Team Beast. People want the Divine Beast for the anniversary of Breath of the Wild. The anniversary of Breath of the Wild. The Divine Beast of the stream. Leprechaun, dude. Oh, it's so tight right now. Oh, no. We're at 29 votes. Who's going to be the deciding vote? Yeah, Breath of the Wild's anniversary. There's so many things going on. Switch's anniversary as well. Obviously. There it is. We hit 30. And by like a single vote, Divine Beast took it with like a single vote. Divine Beast it is, baby. All right. Let's go ahead and get that relabeled to the Divine. Wait, did I spell that right? No, duh. I spelled Divine. Divine Beast. That's how you spell Divine Beast, isn't it? I have no idea. Divine. Pretty sure. Yeah. The Divine Beast of the stream. Now we gotta take care of the colors here. We're not going red. Come on now. You know what color this has got to be. You know, I feel like is that like the correct blue? Is that the correct blue? Or is it a different shade? Yeah, the Sheikah blue. I feel like that's not quite the Sheikah blue. That's not quite the Sheikah blue. Isn't it more like this? A little lighter? Yeah, is that good? So we're going light into white. I think that's more Divine Beast. Yeah. I think that's more Divine Beast right there. I'd have to pull the game up quick and kind of look at the color side. We can adjust the color too as the month goes. We don't have to keep it this shade of blue. We could change it as I like get out, the game and actually kind of look at it. There we go. We got our Divine Beast and our Lucky Charm. I don't know who's going to be the first Divine Beast and Lucky Charms of the month, but there you go. We got our labels out of the way. Perfect. So, we have a beast test. We have a beast test coming in. Taylor McNeil coming in. He wants to be the beast. The first Divine Beast of the stream. This is going to be sick. I can't believe I get to say that like all month long now. Whoa. $5 by Taylor. McNeil. He is our Divine Beast of the stream. $5. Make you holler. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate the $5. We need a beer for that. Man. You know what? I'm going to go grab a beer. Because we need to celebrate. Right back, guys. Be right back. Ugh. All right. Sorry to make you guys wait there. Figured we'd grab a beer. It is the weekend. We are going to a friend's birthday party after the stream, so you know, had to make sure get a little bit of pre-drinking in a bit. It is happening at a bar. Going to a bar with our friends, so. All right. Well, thank you so much, Taylor. Stream will be probably like another, couple hours. Pretty much all you're gonna get. All right. So, if you have any questions about what it's like to be a full-time YouTuber and everything, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, we'll get to some of the questions that we had happening before. And let me get these questions up here. I gotta refresh the page. We have a lot of questions. Our first question is going to get answered in its own video, but I will show it anyways because it does come from Skysword Alyssa. So, assuming that this all works. Hey, who knows? It works. Skysword Alyssa says, I would love to see the process of setting up live streams, adding other sources for audio like music, on top of vocals and potential gameplay, scheduling streams through other software, and some of the hardware you use. You have shown some of these before. It's a cool deep dive, would be interesting. You explain things very well, and I feel I could learn a lot from you. That is awesome. I love that question. Unfortunately, at this moment, I'm not gonna be able to show that in a live setting anyways. So I will probably make a separate video about just that to go up on a random weekend when we don't got much going on, because there's a lot to go over, like all the software I use, how everything is set up, the equipment that goes into it, because you asked about the hardware we use, and my streaming setup's going to be like changing. So I don't know if I should wait for my stream setup till it changes, because we're going to be building a streaming PC here in like a month or two, and so the streaming setup's going to change again. So I don't know if I should do it before the change or after the change. You know, it's one of those things that I have to debate. Our next question here comes from Nathan Byberg, who says, I have 2 questions for you. I hope they make the cut. Well, here you go. They are in the cut right now. What's the best and worst thing about being a full-time YouTuber? Let's start with that question. The best and worst thing about being a full-time YouTuber, I think they're like the same thing. Which feels like a cop-out answer, but I'm going to explain. The best thing about being a full-time YouTuber is I'm my own boss. I make my own hours. I work when I say I'm going to work. I take off when I'm going to take off. I get to decide to work from home. It might not always be the case, but right now I get to choose that I'm working from home. Maybe someday we have a separate building I work in, but right now that is not the case. I get to decide who I hire, who I'm going to pay for things, what I'm going to do. Like, am I going to buy some thumbnail? Am I going to buy video assets? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? I get to make all of my own decisions, be my own boss, and there's no one above me, and that is awesome. Like, there is so much creative freedom and just freedom in general when you are the boss. It's also the worst thing about being a YouTuber is being your own boss and being the boss, especially when you're a solo content creator where you don't have other staff. Maybe it's not as bad when you have other staff. It could be worse. But it's because when you are your own boss and you are the only reason your channel is successful or not is basically based on what you do. you have to wear many hats. Okay, I have to be a video host, an on-camera host, or even if you weren't on camera, you still just talking to a microphone, right? So you have to be some sort of host-like ability. You have to be able to be a researcher and a writer. I think those kind of go together, but you have to be able to write scripts, be a researcher, be a writer, and be an on-camera personality. You got to be able to edit videos. You have to be able to have a little bit of knowledge, at least, of image work and Photoshop and stuff like that, so you can make thumbnails and all that stuff, and any images you might need for your actual video that you're doing, you know, whether you need graphs or just cropping certain image or custom image work done. You need to be able to, let's see here, be an accountant. That's a big thing that no one ever talks about. You have to be an accountant. You literally get sent a check by YouTube, or if you go through another network, it doesn't matter. Either way, you get sent a check. There's no taxes taken out of that check. You're not a W-2 employee. You are a business owner. You are a 1044 sole proprietor unless you have registered your channel as a business LLC. So unless you've incorporated to an LLC, which is also a whole nother thing, you are a sole proprietor. You are a legal business. Whether you register or not, you are now officially a legal business. If you don't register, then your legal business is just your name. If you do register, then your legal business is whatever your legal business is. You don't technically have to register to be a sole proprietor. You just need to be being paid like a sole proprietor is. So, and that's how YouTube pays you. So you got to manage all your own taxes. You got to manage all your own business expenses. You got to manage all of that stuff. And to be a full-time tax accountant 24/7, 365 for yourself is a very, very difficult thing. And then on top of all of that, you have to be a video producer. You have to learn, this is a camera, this is a real professional camera. I have to learn how to actually be a video producer. That is very difficult. I have to learn how to be a professional audio producer for this microphone and the audio setup. And obviously, as like Scott or Alyssa asked earlier, the stream deck and all the other stuff that goes into live streaming and the equipment you use. You have to start to become a professional at all of that. At all of that. And that is a lot. So there's a lot of benefits and there's a lot of negatives. And you got to, at some point, decide if the benefits outweigh the negatives, because it's very difficult. And I'm not like a master at any of it. I'm just proficient enough to do what I do, and I'm constantly getting better. So, but it's a lot. Like, professional outlets will have like one person for each of those things. And I'm a solo creator. I got to do it all. It's just a lot. And then the second part to this question said, what was your favorite video or stream you've done on YouTube so far? Give me a moment, actually. I want to see if I could bring this one up. I can't remember the exact title, but this was also, there's a double whammy with this one. I think it was called, let me see here. See if this pops up when I search for it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is it. This is it right here. Got it. So, it's funny because I did a follow-up for it. This video, 6 years ago. What if the Wii U was the Wii HD and released in 2010? It's my favorite video for a number of reasons. One, it was a scripted video, one of my very first scripted videos, and I put, several weeks of work into it. It took off. This was my largest video I had ever released at the time, besides the Reggie, My Body Is Ready thing, way back in the day. But since we became Nintendo Prime, that was the most successful video I had at the time. And on top of that, in terms of working on it really hard and having this really cool idea for a video, this video springboarded my channel growth. This video is what started Nintendo Prime growing. So it's a special video in channel history because it is the video that springboarded my channel. And on top of that, it was also one that I put tons of work into. And it's very amateurish compared to what I do today. But man, that is my all-time favorite video because it was an original idea, not like a news video or something. And I obviously... It springboarded the channel. It's going to be one that I always remember. In other words, like there's not, it's just special for a number of reasons. All right, so we don't have too many questions from the chat yet, so we're gonna keep going with the questions that we had asked ahead of time. Again, if you guys have any questions about YouTube stuff, you can just at Nintendo Prime in the chat, and that'll be all cool. But let's go ahead and get to the next one. This is a nice deep question. Are you happy? Says Grant. Are you happy? That is a very fundamental question that goes well beyond YouTube. Yes, I love what I do. I love myself. I'm losing weight. You guys might not be able to tell, but I'm down a full 15 pounds from Monday of last week. So about, almost 2 weeks in and we're down 15 pounds. We're doing really well with our diet and our exercise. So I'm loving myself. I'm loving what I do. I love my children. I love my fiance. I love where I am in life. It's not exactly where I want to be. There's places I want to go, but we're already heading there. So I'm happy. Yeah. I would say yes. I am fortunate to be happy. You know what I mean? Remember to at Nintendo Prime if you have questions in the live chat, guys. All right. The next question we had pre-selected here was Super Star Wars Fan 67 at the bottom there says, what's the best way to find your niche and grow from there? So number one, to find your niche, you need to know what you're passionate about, right? What drives you to want to make video content? What is that thing that you are really good at or really passionate enough to get good at? Then take that thing and start doing a lot of research. Dig around on YouTube, search for things, use search terms you think you would use to find the kind of content that you want to make. And then see what's being made, see how much competition there is, and then go figure out, there are services like vidIQ and others that will tell you how much those terms are being looked up. Is it something other people are also looking for? Because if nobody's looking for it, then you're gonna make it for an audience of no one. So lots and lots of research. And then where to grow from there, but that's a whole long journey, Super Star Wars Fan 67 to get into, like how to grow from there. It all just starts by doing. You do it. And you do it again. And you do it again. Big thing is, don't jump in head first trying to go full time and do crazy stuff. Do it as a hobby, have fun on the side, learn from it, make every video better than the last, and see where it goes. Just lots and lots of research, and yeah, sometimes some dumb luck. That's how it goes sometimes. Let's see here. We have a question coming in from Honest Stab 16. Stab 16. I have no idea. Honest Abe 16. I just got that. What do you love most about YouTube? What do I love most about YouTube? It's a good question. What do I love most about YouTube? You know what? It's the communities. I love making content. I love live streaming. I love everything I do on my YouTube channel. But why do I love it? You guys. You guys are why I love it. You know what I mean? Without you guys, there is no community. So, you guys just are sometimes the motivation. I want to go live on today because of you guys. I want to make this video because of you guys. You guys are amazing and awesome and make me smile literally every day. So that's, I would say, is probably what I actually love the most about it. Next question we had here. Just want to say you're doing great. Thank you, Game Junction Media. We had a couple. So JLo says, why is Charles the best mod? I just want to note, I don't play favorites with mods. I don't play favorites with mods. So I think all my mods are wonderful. JLo is a mod. Honest Dave 16 then said, what keeps you from getting burnt out? So YouTube burnout comes essentially from one place. All right. When you start to make YouTube content for money and you stop making YouTube content because you love to do it, you end up making choices that are just about the money and not about how much you love making content anymore. And when that happens and you make those choices too many times, you burn out. You literally burn out entirely, because now you're no longer making content because you love it. You're making content because you need to, because it's now your paycheck and that's how you're paying your bills. So how to prevent from getting burnt out? Always be looking for new avenues of content to get into. Always be looking for ways to expand your channel into other passions you have. And always make sure that you're making content for the love of it, not because you feel obligated. People always kind of, this is like a criticism and a praise of my channel lately. Oh, you do a lot of rumors. You're a rumor channel. It's not all we do, actually, but it is what has been a common theme the last few months. And people are like, man, you're just the same channel all the time. Am I? How many people in the chat right now, how many people down in the comments if you're watching later, know that I do YouTube Shorts live streams playing video games and recently beat Ocarina of Time? Now I'm 100%ing Majora's Mask. Then we got Hogwarts Legacy up next. How many of you guys even knew I did that? Remember, all I do is cover rumors. I don't do anything else on my channel. Absolutely nothing. I do no other content at my channel. I just post Switch 2 rumors. But that's not true. We recently just diversified into YouTube Shorts live streams. We also occasionally put up YouTube Shorts. I actually have a meeting with a person to figure out how we can make our YouTube Shorts even better, because I want our YouTube Shorts to be, top quality shorts. And then on top of that, and the YouTube Shorts they're like gaming facts and stuff. They're totally not Switch 2 stuff. And then on top of that, we have our Nintendo Prime podcast every single week. That's another piece of content we do every single week, where we get a bunch of YouTubers together and we talk about video games. It's awesome. And then on top of that, I have my other live streams that happen 3-4 times a week, where I'm streaming at night and answering questions and having fun with all of you guys. And yeah, sometimes we'll talk Switch 2, sometimes we'll talk Nintendo Direct, sometimes we'll talk Zelda or Mario or Splatoon or whatever we happen to fancy. Pokemon, when we had a Pokemon Presents recently. So it's one of those things that, like, I actually have a pretty wide range of Nintendo related content. But if you only pay attention to one segment of what I'm doing, then you might only feel like I only do one thing. And that's what helps me from not getting burnt out, is that I'm not just doing one thing. I am doing lots of different things, and most of it every single day. There's a lot of diversity in what I'm doing. So that's one way, like, you just don't get burnt out, because I love doing all that stuff. I love playing video games. So why not find a unique way to play games on your YouTube channel that doesn't interrupt your normal content but reaches new audiences? YouTube Shorts live streams. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to always look for that next thing. Let's see here. This is an awesome one, because I get criticized for this, but this is somebody who loves it. When it comes to being a Nintendo YouTuber, let alone a rumor/leaker lover, you guys know I love my rumors, aka the best kind of Nintendo YouTuber. See, there are people that think it is the best type of content. How do you make connections for solid sources? Ooh, there's a good one. So I don't have a lot of rumors that you could tie to me. There's like less than 4 or 5 in the history of my channel. But when I had those sources, or have them, a lot of it's just by chance. Went to E3 3 times, met some developers, still know them today, still know them on a first name basis, still have their phone number. Was actually just chatting with one yesterday. Can't tell you what we talked about, but literally met a game developer at a game developer place. Meeting people at PAX East, making connections there. A lot of it's in person. Now, there's a couple connections I've made where it was all online. They were basically just fans of my channel. They reached out to me privately, and a lot of time when that happens, it's fake and you should ignore it. But they proved themselves, they verified themselves, they provided useful information. I let a lot of it just happen. A lot of it has come true, and then that leads to them being trusted sources. But my thing is I don't like to be the source for rumors. I'd rather the rumors come from elsewhere. So the biggest thing is, when you're covering rumors, is making sure you're trying to cover rumors that are one, really interesting. You want them to actually be of interest to people. Like, there's a lot of rumors out there that just aren't worth covering. and they might be true, but they're very boring. They're not worth talking about, you know? Like rumor that, oh yeah, there was a rumor I heard that, oh, Nintendo might have maintenance on Nintendo Switch Online in like 3 weeks. Okay, but it's not really even that interesting, and it's gonna get announced ahead of time anyway, so why would we even make a video on rumor Nintendo's gonna have maintenance in 3 weeks? Like, who cares? Like, it's not worth covering. It's not fascinating enough. So you focus on some of the known names in the industry. You know, the Nate the Hates, the Pioros, the Necrophilipes, the the Jeff Grubbs of the world, stuff like that. You kind of pay attention to, first off, some of the known entities, and then vetting all the new ones is very difficult. You just look at track records, and even that can fool you. Like Samus Hunter's track record back in the day fooled me, and got a lot of credit and stuff for things that she shouldn't have, because it turned out she was stealing leaks from places like Family Boards. So you have a lot of that stuff tied in there. And to me, the biggest thing is, do not be afraid to screw up. You're going to cover rumors and leaks that end up not being true, and all it's going to end up doing is end up weeding out people like Samus Hunter, weeding out people like Tommy Bear Nose and others, and people who fell for the Wildly Nose account, which was actually John. If you guys know that whole story, any of that stuff will all weed itself out and end up making you a better content creator, covering hopefully more reliable stuff. Now, if you continue to cover things that you know are not reliable, like if you're someone today that can honestly look me in the face and tell me you legitimately think Zippo is legit after all of his misses, he's got like 15 misses in a row. If you think he's honestly legit, I want to hear your reasoning, because I can't find one and we no longer cover him. That's what I'm talking about. You're going to have misses and you're going to get criticized for it. The big thing is learn from it and improve, and don't run away. Admit that, okay, I probably shouldn't have covered them in hindsight, but I did. Now I won't. We'll just make sure we focus on this select group over here for the foreseeable future. So that's that. That's that. Let's see here. I'm just looking at the live chat right now, see if there's any questions in it. Let's see. Go ahead and make sure the chat's actually loading properly over here. I know I have to reset it for that. Yeah, sources can be right and can get the story wrong. Absolutely, that does happen. Let's see here. Yeah, there's probably somebody interested in YouTube maintenance announcements or Switch maintenance announcements. It's kind of weird. Remember, guys, you need to add Nintendo Prime if you want your questions answered. We're not getting a lot from the chat, so we're just going to keep this going. We have a question here from Honest Abe 16. Again, he put like 5 questions in or something like that. What is the hardest thing about YouTube? The hardest thing about YouTube? Look, there's a lot of different avenues you can go with it. There's the pressures. Once you're a full-time YouTuber, there's like the pressures of, hey, I have to make a certain amount of money to pay my bills every month. There's a lot of pressure with that. And at some point, you don't want to be like paycheck to paycheck. So like you actually would like to make more and have a savings. And so there's that aspect of YouTube. But for me, that's not even the hardest part. Because look, you can just go part-time. You never need to do YouTube full-time. So I would say the hardest thing is the mental drain of handling negative comments, whether it's actual criticism that's intended to improve the channel but comes across in a very harsh light, or whether it's just pure negativity. The bigger your channel gets, the more of these comments that will exist. And they stand out like a sore thumb. Most people that enjoy your video aren't even leaving comments. Most of the comments will still be positive, but let's say there's 150 comments and 140 of them are positive. That's a majority of the comments. So what comments seem out of place and stand out more because they're out of place? The 10 negative ones. And that is maybe the hardest part, is dealing with that and not letting it destroy you mentally. Because man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. They can break you. That's what they're trying to do anyways. They want you to break. So, and they know it works. They know it can break. So that's maybe like the hardest thing about YouTube is dealing with that, because when you're starting out, it's all fun. You get like no criticism. It's nothing but love. It's nothing but positive comments. You know, you get 1,000 views on a video and you're just super happy. Like, oh my gosh, I got my first 1,000 view video. I mean, you're excited with a 100 view video, and then you get excited with 1,000 view and you have like a dozen comments and you're just like, this is awesome. And everyone's so happy. And this is such a great thing we're doing. And then all of a sudden you get to where you're getting at least 5,000, at least 10,000, sometimes 50,000. And before you know it, you're getting a hell of a lot more negative comments. And you don't really know why when you weren't getting it when you were only getting 1,000 views. It's very grating and very mentally challenging. So that is definitely something to consider. We had a question from the chat from T. Said, at Nintendo Prime, if you weren't doing YouTube, what kind of job do you think you'd have? Thank you for the question. I'd be working in IT. I was working in IT literally up until I went full-time YouTube. So I'd be working in IT. Let's see here. Here's a question that we had pre-selected ahead of time from AJ Savage 11. Says, did you start as a full-time content creator or did you begin as part-time? I'm considering doing a little bit of part-time content creation on the side after college. Would it be easier if I knew if it was a more standard path than diving right into full-time content creation? It is literally the standard to do it part-time. Some people do it part-time while they're in college, while they're in high school. Mr. Beast did it part-time while he was in college. It is very much a thing you do on the side for fun. It needs to first be a passion project that you do when you can afford to on the side. And then it might blow up and develop into something, but it might not. So very much it is a thing you start on the side. When I started doing content creation, I still had another job. I still had another source of income. And that's been true literally all the way up to November of 2022, besides a 2-month period when I was laid off. There was a 2-month period in 2019 I was laid off. Otherwise, I had a job all the way up till November of 2022 when I went full time. I was doing YouTube. I still made some money from it. It was always on the side, but I had another job. And now this is all I do. 1 second. Let me, I gotta knock at my door quick. I guess I must have misheard it. It must have been coming from upstairs. Boo Mini. Like someone just knocking on the ceiling or something. I have headphones on, so they're not noise canceling, but they can sometimes confuse me, and I think I'm just a knock on the door, and really it's just the ceiling. We had a gifted member come in. Thank you so much, Boo Mini, with the one gifted member. He has become our first lucky charm, and that lucky charm is 10,000 noodles is now. Mr. Nudes over there has become a lucky charm. Look at that. Our first lucky charm of the stream. Thank you so much. Cheers, man. All right. We had another question here. It's from Kappa. It says, I'm sorry if you already mentioned this before. When exactly did you start being a full-time YouTuber? November of 2022. I will note, though, I didn't make a full-time, how do I put this? I went full-time in November of 2022. I did not make a full-time livable wage until March of 2023. I was living entirely on savings for 3 months. I took a risk and I literally had a job offer on the table during March. And March is when we made it. So we haven't looked back since. But I technically went full-time November of 2022. All right. Let's see here. Let's get to our next question. How do you deal with the pressure and stress of constantly needing to make new content? Says Zerat5302. It starts first off by not viewing it as pressure. You got to view it as you want to do it. So yes, there's obviously like you want to get new content out, but I'll give an example. This past week, I've had a lot of stuff happening in my real life. So there was a couple days I didn't get videos out. We still had like a live stream or something like that, but we didn't get videos out. And yeah, that affects revenue and everything. But you can't stress about that. The biggest stress will come from like you drop a video that you put like multiple days of work in and everything's all good, and all of a sudden that video barely gets any views and barely makes any money when you're a full-time YouTuber, and you're just like, man, that sucks. Like you can get really down on yourself about that. But honestly, if you're making content because you love it, then the pressure's not really there. Like if I have to skip a day of making a video, I'll just skip a day. It's okay. Now, there's a reason I can skip a day. And I'll get into that because my success on YouTube, I feel like, is a little unique. And we'll probably get to that a bit later because I'm not entirely reliant on revenue from videos. Let's see here. The Bit Block. Good old Josh Thomas, who used to be a very successful YouTuber, but then, dude, you've had like a billion things happen over the years. Good old Josh Thomas says, what advice would you give the Bit Block to rebuild audience? Man, coming back with a previous successful channel, with a previously successful YouTube channel, and then trying to come back and make it a success again. I mean, it's tough. I mean, you'll always have that initial smaller audience that's always going to come back for you, the 1,000 to 2,000, 3,000 people maybe. They'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you. I remember you, man. I missed your content, yada, yada. I mean, first, remember what made you successful in the first place. Like, what were you doing that made the channel successful to begin with? I feel like with your channel, and I don't know every single in and out of your channel and every single controversy ever in your channel history. Like, I don't even know you that well, man. But I do know things like, you've promised a lot of things that you haven't delivered on. And that is a problem I used to have, that I would promise things that I didn't deliver on. And this was many years ago. And that is not, that just creates audience distrust. So like now I try not to really promise things. I just do. Like if I have a unique piece of content coming, I'm just going to drop it. I'm not going to tell anyone it's even happening. I know I want to, I'm excited about it, but I'm just not going to, because if that content falls through, I'm just letting people down. And some of my audience will know some of the content I used to promise in the past, and then it would fall through. Like, it's just not, like, I wouldn't, don't do that. And then, now, obviously, like, now's not a bad time to get back into Nintendo content creation, because there's a new system on the horizon, probably next year, right? That's the way everything's pointing to, is 2025, early 2025, first half at least. So it's a great time to get back into Nintendo content creation, because there's a new wave. There's gonna be a new wave of searches happening like crazy on YouTube for Switch 2 content. So like maybe my advice would be, start building up some of that audience trust with some of those games coming out this year. I know you happen to really like the lineup this year. There's not gonna be a lot of content creators hitting Princess Peach really hard, hitting Endless Ocean Luminos very hard, right? So I would suggest like focusing on those games that you already are really excited for anyways, and hitting them pretty hard with content, because there's not gonna be a lot of people doing it. And that's gonna help you gain some of that niche audience for that stuff that could help springboard you into maybe one big game you might be excited for with Switch 2. I don't know if it's 3D Mario, I don't know if that's what you're into, but hopefully one of the games, one of the bigger Nintendo IP games that gets announced for Switch 2, something that gets you excited, because obviously you gotta love the content. Like, Josh, you've been at this game longer than me. If you don't love the content, eventually you're gonna fall off. You can't just make content to get views. You gotta make content you love. So you're just like getting back on that wagon and kind of prepping your channel for hopefully grabbing onto that Switch 2 hype train and letting it just take you to the moon, man. I'm not gonna get into too many more specifics than that, because I'd have to go examine your channel more, and I've never really thought to examine other content creators I respect's channel before. I probably should. Let's see here. We had another question from Kappa. Let me get that question up here. Saying, did you, in a way, feel a sense of relief after the hype of Tears of the Kingdom ended? And were you still able to, do this full time? I say this because Tears of the Kingdom days were glorious. So the Tears of the Kingdom days were the pre-Tears of the Kingdom days, and even like a few weeks after. were obviously huge for my channel, right? We were getting 50,000, 100,000, sometimes 200,000 views on a video. And we would drop like 2-3 videos a day, and all of them are getting 50K plus and just doing amazing and help blow the channel up. And yes, there was definitely a big sense of fear that when that ended, so would my YouTube career. Because I knew I wasn't a Zelda theorist, so we weren't going to keep it going with Zelda theories. And I knew eventually the news would dry up because we're a news channel, and we weren't going to be talking about Zelda news anymore. At least until a new big Zelda game came out. And so I was worried. But it turns out I didn't need to be worried. And that's something we'll get into later. But I definitely was scared. And it's really nice now that it's been not a year since Tears of the Kingdom stuff ended, but almost a year since it ended. And we're still able to do this full time. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Thank you so much for that question. Let's get to the next serious question. This comes from Honest Abe 16 in our community section, who said, what is the easiest way to gain subscribers while still doing what you find fun on YouTube? Look, the easiest way to build subscribers is YouTube Shorts, period. Whether you're making shorts, whether you're doing YouTube Shorts live streams, YouTube Shorts live streams get a really big audience. That's like the easiest way to gain subs. If you just want straight up subscribers, YouTube Shorts. If you don't enjoy making YouTube Short content or YouTube Shorts live streams, well then there is no easy way. But that's the easy way. So yeah, like there is no easy button for success on YouTube. I can tell you that right now. There's so many different avenues to it. YouTube, there's no easy button. If you just want to gain subscribers, that's the easy button. But if you also want to have fun and you don't enjoy making that content, then there isn't, there is no easy button. And gaining subscribers doesn't guarantee anything. Views matter more than subs. They matter way more. Let's see here. We had a question. Make sure you in the chat, guys. In the chat my name, but I'll throw this one up anyways. N_E2008 says, what games do you plan on live streaming in the future? Well, we're already doing Majora's Mask right now on YouTube Shorts. Then we got Hogwarts Legacy's up next after that. I don't know what we're going to do after that, after Hogwarts Legacy. So there you go. Let's see here. This is a fascinating question. I think this is the last of the Honest Abe questions. Honest Abe 16 says, why did you choose to make videos about Nintendo over the other passions you have like sports and other technology? This is a fascinating one because, look, I'm obviously a big Milwaukee Bucks fan. I love sports. Making videos on sports is easy. You know how much sports news there is? You can do a whole channel on one team and be able to make a video every day, let alone the whole of sports, the NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL. You have soccer/football. You have golf, tennis, swimming, Olympics. There's so much stuff. You can cover some WWE stuff if you want, AEW. There's so much stuff you can do as a sports channel that if I had a successful sports channel, it would almost feel easier. Because instead of me not having me worrying about, oh, what if there's no news tomorrow? I get to actually just pick from a plethora of stories that I want to cover and do content on. And that's awesome. And you could focus on one sport, even one team, multiple sports, et cetera, et cetera. So that's cool. And then you guys know I love tech. I love tech. Most of the channels I watch on YouTube are tech channels. Linus Tech Tips, Jay's 2 Cents, Bitwit, Paul's Hardware, Hardware Unboxed, Gamers Nexus, a ton of hardware channels, technology channels. So why did I end up choosing Nintendo over all of those other things that I love? Because I just said a sports channel would actually be easier. A tech channel would be kind of crazy fun, and I love tech, and I'd probably never be bored, and there's an infinite amount of news. Unlike technology, unlike sports, and I love sports, every major moment in my life, major decision, major point of change, major drama, major something, always had a massive, super exciting Nintendo game come out right when it happened. And that game got me through my in real life, for lack of a better word, shit. So I have this connection to Nintendo for the last 30 plus years because my life is kind of defined in moments, and all of those moments happen to have Nintendo there to help me through. That's crazy. It's crazy. Another way to look at it too is I love watching sports. I love playing sports. I don't play for the Milwaukee Bucks, but I do play Nintendo. There's just a deeper connection, right? So I'm just really passionate about it. Really passionate about it. Let's see here. Corey Bohm comes in, one of our moderators, and says, why doesn't Yulia come on stream more? She doesn't like being on camera. So, simple answer. That's the truth. She doesn't like being on camera. Anything I would do different for Prime Gaming Fest? Well, one, we're never having one again, but let's say, set aside Prime Gaming Fest. Let's say we do a massive giveaway event again. What I have discovered after doing 2 of them, well, now 3 technically, I have learned over the last year that I can hire entire companies to handle my shipping for me. So what I can do is I can get all the physical product. I can hire this company to come pick all the physical product up. They will hold on to it. They will itemize it for me. They will give me a nice spreadsheet with it, and they will ship all the products for me and just send me one fat bill at the end of the month. And so what I've learned is if I ever do a massive physical prize giveaway again, that's how I'm doing it. Even though it's going to cost more, I don't have to manage it myself. So that would be nice. That's what I've learned. Then he says, is Charles your best mod? God, what's up with... Do our mods like have a favorite here? Or I think our mods have favoritism going on. I think our mods are picking favorites. It's a little weird. All right. Crazy. Our mods are playing favorites. I'm not playing favorites. All right. Next up, we have this in from, this goes in the opposite direction. Already a little criticism here. Alex XB85 says, does it feel tacky when you report that someone has corroborated a rumor that you are talking about when really they are obviously just talking about it because you and other clickbaiters started the rumor? I responded in kind. Well, not a question related to actually being a full-time YouTuber. I'll gladly answer this in the video as it addresses a common misconception about rumors and how they start in the first place. And he said, thanks. So first off, the claim here is that we're talking about it because, we're clickbaiters and we started the rumor. Look, we didn't start the rumors. I understand why people think that though, right? Everyone assumes the place you heard the rumor first is where the rumor came from. Oh, I didn't know about this rumor till I saw a Nintendo Prime video. Nintendo Prime is just full of shit. But the rumor isn't from me. In fact, I show it on the screen and I link it in the description. But there's an association, right? If you hear about something first somewhere, you associate said thing to that place that you heard it. So it's a mental thing. No, when Jeff Grubb comes in and corroborates a rumor by, I don't know, let's say Andy Robinson at Video Game Chronicle, no, that has nothing to do with me. That has to do with those people in their professions, which are different professions than mine, corroborating those things together. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm just a video gamer talking about the things that already exist. The rumor's already out there. I might be highlighting it. I might even, you could argue, amplify it, right? Amplify the attention it gets, but I'm not the source of it. So, does it feel tacky when I report on a corroboration of a rumor I've already covered? No. I think it's important that let's go with the most recent, biggest one out there, right? Switch 2 had an internal delay to 2025, and that was by this guy that goes by Brazil online. It's actually like Pedro Henrique Luda Lipe or Lipa Lida. I don't know. I can't pronounce his full. He's got 4 names. He's from Brazil. He's a Brazilian reporter who's been really accurate on stuff in the past. He was the source on something, and then Video Game Chronicle corroborated it, and then Eurogamer corroborated it, and then Bloomberg corroborated it. I think it's important to add in that additional context with an update that things have been corroborated. And unlike a traditional news website, I can't update the original video. So I had to make a new one. The new video is the update. Now, maybe I could do a better job of going to the old video and throwing a bunch of links in the pinned comment and at the top of the description saying, hey, there's been an update to this. Here you go. Here's the latest. I probably could do a better job of that. But I don't think it's tacky. I think it matters that if I'm more up to date on something, that I let my audience be as up to date as I am. So no, I don't find it tacky. And look, we can talk about clickbait and stuff all you want. Welcome to content creation, right? You got to get people to click. People don't click, then you don't have a job anymore. And we're gonna ignore that comment. See, I hate comment. But we're not done. We got more questions here because I also put this out on Twitter. And we have this guy, Gundam Phone X Fire, saying, actually, yeah, what are some of the biggest unforeseen challenges and how did you find your voice in all the chaos? I know playing to the algorithm is a big part of the strategy, but I honestly don't know where to begin. Where to begin is just make content. Just make content. You just got to make it. You can't start if you can't go anywhere if you don't start. And where you are today, 5 years from now, your content's going to look so much better and sound so much better and be so much better than 5 years prior. So what are some of the biggest unforeseen challenges? Man. YouTube clicks. And I don't mean like people clicking on your video. I mean literal like clicks of people. You know, high school, how you have like these little groups of people everywhere, right? You guys all know, like, if you get to any kind of school anywhere, like there's groups of people, right? You have groups of people, cliques as they call them. Maybe they don't call them that today. I have no idea. That's what they called them when I was younger. YouTube has that as well. Now you would think all of us want all of us to be successful, and that's just not the way it is. There's a lot of cliques, and that was completely unforeseen. Lots of groups of YouTubers that kind of just go together, and sometimes they want other groups of YouTubers to not be successful. And that's very weird to me, because there's room for all of us to be successful. But for some reason, there's just this thing where people wish ill on others, and there's some weird behind the scenes BS that ends up leaking out at times to different cliques. And it's very, I did not see that ever being, when I became a YouTuber, I didn't think I'd need to worry about anything like that. But here we are, and it's very much a thing. So, and it's just a challenge mentally. It doesn't have to stop you, but it is a challenge. Like when you know others think ill of you and it leaks out from private conversations, and like then you get rumors behind the scenes, and you don't want to cause drama. Nobody wants to cause public drama, and it's just the whole thing. How did I find my voice in all the chaos? Well, being confident in myself, constantly improving, seeing what works for other people and not, and just being myself. Here's the biggest thing. This is why my channel is successful. People like me. That's it. Yeah, I cover news. I cover cool topics. People like the person. And it took me years to figure out, in the YouTube space, the you actually matters more than the rest. That was very weird for me. The you in YouTube, Y-O-U, is what matters the most. People come to YouTube because maybe they need some tips and some guides, fine. But when they're coming to a talking head channel where we're talking about news, they want the personality. So people like me. And it's weird for me to even say that out loud because it's kind of cocky and condescending, and I don't like it, but it's the truth. So like, why am I successful on YouTube? Look, my last video, I'll go show you right now. My last video that I have revenue numbers for, because I don't think yesterday's video has revenue numbers yet. Well, let me show you something. Here is the revenue on my last video. Okay. $40. Now look, 39, not 32. That's decent money. That's not bad. That's not bad. But you know, let's do, I got 3 kids, right? So let's do some quick math on that. Let's bring up the calculator. So let's presume I made $40 a day on videos, which I don't, but let's say I did. Times 30 days a month, and I made a video every day. That's only $1,200. I'm not surviving on $1,200. That's not gonna cut it. So you look at that and you go, man, well, why does it matter if people like you? Let me show you my last live stream, which I believe is this one here. Let me show you my last live stream. Now, I want to be clear, this is not a typical live stream, but this happens usually at least once or twice a month. She might have lost a couple subs. $554.79 on 1.2K views. This is why it matters that people like you. I don't beg people for money. We're doing this live stream, we've made like $10. I don't beg people for money. People super chat, they don't. People gift memberships, they don't. By the way, we are doing shots and drinks for super chats. We're pre-drinking here before we go out with friends. But the point is that the community, people like you, they support you, even when you're not asking them to. So it's very important. It's very important to that people like you for you. So be you. Build an audience that likes you. You know what I mean? Like, it's really important you build an audience that likes you. Let's see here. Yeah, 10,000 noodles is like, if I had money, it'd be going to you, underscore. You got. It's about the person. Gotta like the person, right? Seriously, it's a really big deal. Like, you gotta like the person. So we have that, and then we go here and we go, yeah. So that's the voice. It's just don't be afraid to be me. Don't be afraid to be you. Like, you need to build an audience that likes you for who you are, because that audience can be the very thing that carries you to enable you to do what you do. And sponsorships as well, obviously, if you want to throw that in there. But I don't get a ton of sponsorships. But that might change someday, but for right now. This is a good question from Cameron Hansen. He says, what's it like having to manage YouTube and your kids all together? I imagine it's like this for any adult with a full-time job and multiple children. A nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's awesome working from home until your kids won't leave you alone when it's time to work. Love my kids though. They're awesome. But it's hard. And I'm not even going to go into how I do it, because I don't even know that how I do it's the best. Helps having a fiance though that loves you and supports you. And right now, like, she's the one with the boys right now. So upstairs with them, taking care of them while I'm doing the stream. So a question comes in from Scott. Says, what do you say the most important factor for someone starting out is? Consistency or quality? The important factor for starting out is just do it, man. Borrow that phrase from Nike. Just do it. No matter how high quality you think your video is today, it's going to be 10 times better 5 years from now. Just do it. Just do it. Look, you're doing it part-time. You do it when you have time. Consistency is important, sure, but what's more important is that you have consistent quality that you think is quality. Unless you're already a videographer or have all these skills to make super professional videos out the gate, chances are your video is going to be very amateurish. Even when you are proud of it and you put your best work into it, it's still not going to look very good compared to other people. And that's okay. Welcome to YouTube. That's how we all started. That's literally how we all started. Very few of us started out on YouTube already making professional quality videos. You just do what you can. So you just got to start. That's the most important thing. And that's all of the pre-selected questions that we had. Is there any more questions from the chat? Any more questions from the chat? I'm going to check with Yulia here. Let me see here. Barely handle your brother's kids. Kids are awesome. Kids are awesome, but damn, that was inspirational. I don't know what was inspirational. I'm just doing my thing over here. It looks like the chat froze again, which that happens. We'll go refresh it quick. Chris Lanzer says, what do your kids think about you being a YouTube star? Well, I'm not a star. I'm definitely not a YouTube star. But, one, they all think it's awesome. There isn't a single one of my kids that doesn't think it's really cool that I'm a YouTuber. Even though I'm not the kind of YouTuber they want to watch, they think it's really cool. Like dude, my sons are almost more invested in my view count and my subscriber count than I am. At the end of every month, they're like, Dad, how many views did you get? How many subscribers are you at? They're like more obsessed with it than I am. And maybe it's because they're bragging to their friends about it. I don't obviously know what they're telling their friends, but they think it's cool. All I remind them when they tell me, because one of them wants to be a YouTuber, and all I keep reminding them is, you see how much your dad works. Now, ask yourself, if you want to make a huge chunk of your life about working, because when it's all reliant on yourself, you do spend a majority of your time working. That's how it goes to make it. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of work. And make sure that if you decide to do YouTube, I would never tell you not to. That would be hypocritical of me. You start out like I did, where it's on the side, you have another job, you have another path in life, and you veer to YouTube when it makes sense. Don't just assume you're gonna make it. But they think it's pretty cool. Wily Tiger said, how do you verify view count? Is there a third-party company involved? No. It's all YouTube. YouTube's the only one that provides the data. So there's no way to like verify what YouTube tells you. But all that matters is the money. I mean, the money per views. The CPM. Does the CPM line up to your views? If it does, then cool. That's all that really matters in the end, is that you're getting paid for the views that it says you got. Yeah, there is no way to verify views. No. Views are just, if YouTube tells you it, you have to assume it's correct. And yes, YouTube has bugged out before and the views have been inaccurate. And they do let you know. They'll tell you like what day YouTube bugged out, and so you can't trust the views. It never affects the revenue somehow. That's what they claim. I doubt it. It's not like I can verify whether it affects the revenue or not, but there are some days you'll get this error message on the back end, like, oh, February 22nd, all your view data is inaccurate for that day. We're sorry. And it's like, well, okay. I don't know what that really means for me, but thanks, YouTube. We already had this question earlier, but I'll answer briefer this time. How do you keep from getting burnt out while still doing what you love? If you love what you're doing, you don't get burnt out. It's that simple. People get burnt out on YouTube because they start doing it for the money rather than doing it because they love it. That's the answer. If you start doing it because of the money rather than because you love it. Money's great. But I mean, look, money comes and goes. You got to enjoy what you're doing. And if you can't do it full time enjoying what you're doing, that's okay. You got to be okay with that. Like, I have to be okay that I may not be a full-time YouTuber my whole life. And that's okay. I accept that. But I think we got places to go. I think we've only begun. 10 years from now, we're going to be, and there's going to be branches, and it's going to be beautiful, and we're going to have a nice little prime tree growing. I can see it now. Will we get there? I don't know, but I got a vision. Hopefully we get there. Stealth78 says, how long did you mull over the decision to go full-time as a YouTuber? Were you nervous to make that leap? How long did I mull over it? So it was a weird situation. I wasn't making enough on YouTube to be a full-time YouTuber, to be clear. And not even close. And my job had cut my hours really bad. And I was already looking for another job. And then after cutting my hours, my boss called me and asked me to work a few hours in the middle of the night for free. And I'm like, no. I mean, thanks for asking, but you can volunteer your time. You can always volunteer your time. Your time is your time. But I'm like, no, you just cut my hours. Now you want me to work for free? Yeah, that's not cool. And I looked at my savings account and I saw that I had, what I had in it. And I said, I had a conversation with Yulia and I mulled it for about a week. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to try to go full time on YouTube. What happens if I go full time on YouTube? So what happened after I went full time? I started making YouTube shorts immediately. Saw instant success with YouTube shorts, which led into massive growth, which then led into Tears of the Kingdom. And then Tears of the Kingdom is where we got even bigger growth, and that's when the real money started rolling in. So we ran out of money right when we started taking off on YouTube. So it was like the perfect mix of where our savings just got depleted right as we just started making enough on YouTube to cover our bills, by the way. We still haven't replenished our savings. Maybe we will someday because, we want to save up for a new car and some other stuff. So maybe we'll replenish the savings someday when we get there, but we're making enough to get by and we're living comfortably, and that's important for me and my family. So how long did I mull over the decision to go full-time YouTuber? It was about a week. And it was a pretty rash decision that I always knew might fail, and I had a plan to just go get another job. And was I nervous? I was nervous that I was going to blow all the money, make no progress, and then just be back to working another IT job. And then maybe regretting that we blew our savings when I could have got a job 3 months earlier. I was definitely pretty nerve-wracking. Very nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty nerve-wracking, but I was always okay with going to get a new job. But Yulia told me something that I'll never forget, as did my grandmother. Shout out to both of them. If I never took a shot at it, I would regret it the rest of my life. We could afford it, so we took a shot. If we don't make it, we don't make it. It's cool. But we made it. So there you go. I love when Pete A1 comes in and says, yawn. You came into a stream that is about people asking questions about making it on YouTube and stuff, and you're yawning. Did you not know what kind of stream you clicked on? Jack Saget, I already answered that question earlier, so I'm gonna leave that question. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the particulars of that company I worked for because I might still be under NDA with them. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check the contract I have with them, but I'm not here to bad talk companies. Look, dude, there's been rough times in the economy for many companies. especially since the pandemic. And you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I put in my 2 weeks notice with them, and then he basically told me don't bother clocking in tomorrow because I was working from home. It's one reason why I could even do YouTube part-time. And then he told me not to bother clocking in, and I'm like, okay. Now, could I have claimed unemployment? That I don't know. I wasn't laid off. It felt like it because they cut my hours so much, but yeah, we took a chance and it worked out. Didn't know if it would. And it wasn't like it was a leap I couldn't recover from. It was just, we took a chance, and I knew Tears of the Kingdom was coming up, and I knew that I make a lot. I'm really passionate about Zelda, so I was like, man, if we make it to Tears of the Kingdom, maybe something happens. If nothing happens then all right. And sure enough, we went from YouTube Shorts blowing up to Tears of the Kingdom blowing up to now we just kind of been sustaining ever since, and now we're growing again. So kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy how it all works. Because I'm not like a big channel. Look, we're streaming to 76 people right now. That's not very big. We don't have a very big channel. Like relative to the rest of YouTube, our channel's not very big. But even a channel at my size, we're able to make it. And a lot of it's community driven. So I said, like, the community is just amazing. You guys are awesome. Without you, there is no Nintendo Prime YouTube channel. So I appreciate it. Even this live stream tonight, oh no, we only made $10. Oh, so what? 10 more bucks in my pocket than I had before I did this live stream. I had a Zelda channel before this went great. This was the Zelda channel, and it was part of a bigger company that I didn't own. It's part of Zelda Informer. I was just editor-in-chief, but I didn't own Zelda Informer. I negotiated when I left the company April 30th of 2017. I negotiated to get the YouTube channel because the people that bought them out and had all the stuff with Zelda Dungeon, they already had a big YouTube channel. And I was like, man, can I keep the YouTube channel? My face is like all over it over the years. And they said, yeah, just rebrand it. Obviously. Nude says, I'd work unpaid if I thought there was a payoff for the business and we were all close-knit. I mean, Nudes, you can like that too, like Eric, right? Eric has done some work for me. Eric has done some work for me on my channel that was unpaid, just as my personal friend. He's legitimately done some work for me. And he knows there's a big, and the things he's helped me with have led to payoffs in the bit. Like, he helped me in ways that enabled me to do this full time as well for free, just because he's my best friend. And so obviously that's different because that's like a close-knit partnership. Also, Eric wants to work for me someday. He wants to officially work for me. We've already had the conversation. So he was investing some of his time because he wants this place to get so successful that I can hire him. And he's not cheap. But I know he'll bust his ass. Knowing what he already does occasionally for me for free, imagining what that guy's gonna do if I pay him, jeez, man. Our channel's going to a new level. Our channel is literally gonna hit next level. It's gonna be awesome. But we're a long ways away before we start talking about hiring someone full time. Especially since he'd probably be the first hire. And I know what his cost is because we've already talked about it. And will that be the same ask he's asking for 2 years from now? Next year, 2 years from now, whenever I possibly could afford him, is his ask going to be the same ask? Don't know. Did I know how to edit before I started YouTube? Nope. No idea. Didn't know what I was doing. Movie Maker, baby. That was my extent of editing experience. Movie Maker. You know the Reggie, my body is ready meme that's on my channel, biggest video ever, 2 million views? Movie Maker. Windows Movie Maker, man. Let's see here. Oh, we had a mean comment? Oh, Durkee, you said my channel's boring and you don't like my videos. That's all right. Here's the thing. My channel's not for everyone, right? If my channel was for everyone, I'd be like, what, Mr. Beast? And even his channel's not for everyone. So no, my channel's not for everyone. Nah, there's nothing wrong with my channel not being for everyone. I'm not here to make my channel for everyone. That doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense. It literally doesn't make any sense. My channel shouldn't be for everyone. Oh, I do gotta look something up quick. What time are we supposed to be at the birthday thing? Let's see here. I forgot. I'm invited to the birthday thing. Where is it? I'm trying to find the group. It was a Facebook invite thing. Is this it? No, that's not it. It's not it either. Damn it. I'm trying to find what time it was at. Oh, well. Oh, there it is. I got the reminder. There it is. Yeah, it's at 8. Okay. Yeah, so it's an hour from now. Your channel isn't as boring as that, guys. If it were, he wouldn't be here. He'd be making videos. Yeah, who knows? I'm not here to judge people. What's up, Pogale? How you doing, buddy? You like my new jacket? Thing's way too big on me though. Look at this thing. Look at this. I've lost weight. It doesn't fit. Can't return it either, so I'm gonna see if it fits Eric. Might become Eric's. That's way too big on me. It was ordered before I was doing the diet thing. So Paul, we ordered this like 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It just got here today. And because of my weight loss, it's too big. Oh, better put it back on. Nah. I'd rather just buy a new one that's smaller. How did you first get to know Saffron and the 2-inch destroyer? So Jake Randall, I got to know Jake Randall, this was years ago at this point, probably 3 years ago. He was doing all that PS5 stuff back in 2021, and I just randomly reached out to him because I heard about his cystic fibrosis and everything. And I just said, hey, man, you want to come on a podcast? Sometimes just like I've done for anyone else, right? I've reached out lots of content creators to come on the podcast. How I met Sumbro Nation, Andres Restart, all the rest. I just reached out and asked him to come on the podcast. And that led one thing to another. He had a really good time. He came on again like a month later, and he came on a couple more times. And I don't know, we just kind of hit it off. And then we met at PAX East last year, and we've just been good buddies ever since. So it literally was just how I get anyone. I'd reach out and say, hey, would you like to come on the podcast? He said, sure. Met him, and it just kind of went from there. Saffron was brought to the podcast by Jake. Jake discovered Saffron City. Then I talked to her. Then we got her on the show. Now she loves it, and she's coming on again this week, this upcoming week. It's going to be Saffron City, another first-time person you guys have never seen on my channel before, so that's going to be fun. Eric is actually going to be here this week because they moved his work thing, so Eric's going to be back. I'm also going to be serving some punishment. Finally, the bets I lost to Jake at the end of last year are being served on the next podcast episode. I get to pay the Pied Piper. And Jake is beyond excited. His exact words were today, woohoo, heart, lots of hearts, gonna be a lit show. Gonna be a lit show. So it's gonna be lit up in here. Jake's gonna wreck me. It is what it is. I lost bets. It is what it is. When you lose, you lose. Still don't know what bricked up means? Google's your friend. $10,000. Ooh, Liddy on a stack. For real, no cap. Oh, God. What are you doing? What are we doing right now? What the heck is Kanbanwa? 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 What are we doing? I'm literally Googling this. Some sort of slang. The other one you said, the first one I read off, I've heard before. Oh, it's a Japanese word. Wait, no, it's not. Well, yes, it is. Good evening. Okay. Yeah, but ooh, Liddy on a stack. For real, no cap. Oh, God, that is like listening to my kids talk. Or bussin'. They still say bussin' all the time. Wonder when bussin's gonna be replaced. There's been slang for that meaning. There's like 7 different ones in my life. Wonder what the next term for it's gonna be. Who came up with bussin'? Was it like a pop culture reference from a song or something? Like, where did it originate from? Where did that slang originate from? You just copied the kiddos. I don't know what the ooh means. I've never understood that one. What does the UWU mean? Am I even saying it right? Cute face. Oh, okay. It actually makes sense. Okay. This one actually makes sense. It's an emotion depicting a cute face. And why? Because look at the face. It looks like a UWU. Okay. I get it. That is one of the first slang of today that I get it. It actually makes sense. Okay, I don't mind slang when it actually makes sense. But when we have slang and we already had slang for it, why do we need more slang for it? But for that one, I get that one. That's one that makes sense. Okay. I came up with this as Paul Gale. Do I like dope? What's mine say? Sweet. Sorry, it's just makes me mad. The dude, where's my car? What's mine say? Dude. What's mine say? Sweet. How many people in the chat have even seen Dude, Where's My Car? What a classic. What a classic. Old school Ashton Kutcher back in the day, man. Old school Ashton Kutcher combined with the Stiffmeister. Come on now. What a pairing that was. That's all right, Loveless Dog. Scary movie. Yeah, that's another good one. Joycey. Caspuff has seen it, yeah. I think we were in middle school when it came out. Something like, dude, I don't even remember. When did Dude, Where's My Car come out? Dude, Where's My Car? Release date 2000. So, yeah, I would have been towards the end of middle school because I went to high school 2001. I think. Wait. Yeah. I would have been 8th grade for me. When that one came out. Yeah, it was right at the end of middle school, right before I hit high school. Yeah, because I went to high school 2001, graduated 05. Yeah. I was trying to remember when I know when I graduated. I was like, well, when did I actually start high school? 2001. Let's see here. Wasn't that a Nickelodeon movie? No, that was a full-on movie. Wasn't that even in movie theaters? I think that was even in movie theaters, that movie. Could have been made by Nickelodeon, but I don't think it was it? Totally different dudes. Where it's like, dude, Scary Movie rips things from all the movies. That's what's funny about Scary Movie. At times. Ashton smashing Bruce Willis's lady. Oh, that was great back then, dude. Bruce Willis is the bomb. Kind of sucks, you know, how the end of his life is going and the medical conditions he's dealing with, but dude, he was the man back then, man. Bruce Willis, great. Dude, Fifth Element. Oh, it's one of my all-time favorite Bruce Willis movies, man. Fifth Element. Great movie. Grab my strong hand. Grab my strong hand. And there was like a mini spoof of that on Family Guy with Quagmire. When he brings out his other arm and it's just fucking massive. Because they spoofed the strong arm thing. Or strong hand thing. Oh, man. Anyways. All right, guys. That's going to probably wrap it up. I got to go get ready to go hang out with my friends. I got some stuff to put on. I'm dressing up as a panda. That's right. Panda. Don't ask me what kind of party we're going to. It's actually just the theme is black and white. The theme is black and white. So I'm dressing as a panda. Yuli is dressing as a cow for some reason. I don't know. It's going to be fun. You guys have a good night. Catch you later, guys.